What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hoops and Cards. It is great to be with you this Monday afternoon after the All-Star festivities, after All-Star weekend is over. I'm here with the background of, well, I don't even remember the arena's name. I was in Indianapolis last week to see the Pacers play against the Chicago Bulls. And I said I'd have some stories to tell, maybe not as many as I thought I might, but we should probably start with, where are you at, collector, investor? Are you Mac McClung happy? Are you Jason Tatum chasing? Are you tired of waiting for Don Russ, the new cards to release? We get you. We get you. In fact, our podcast was started 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago, to connect with basketball card, like NBA fans, investors, and collectors. And right now, guys, I'm at a place. Well, first of all, I'm Gary, coming at you almost live from Northeast Ohio, actually. And enjoyed watching the dunk contest for once. Enjoyed the 3-point shootout. Very happy that Damian Lillard won. And wonder if did you get to see the All-Star game? A game that they haven't taken real seriously for a long, long time. And I'm okay with it. I don't think any All-Star game is taken real seriously these days. It's just a fun way to see all those players, those greats on the same court together. And I like the NBA's way of drafting All-Stars with Giannis and LeBron. Did you see that? Drafting right before the game. Giannis accidentally tried to draft Ja Morant as if he was one of the reserves in the lineup. But no, I like that draft. I liked a lot of things they did. But that's me. I'm an NBA fan. I'm not not quick to criticize. I just enjoy it. I just love it. When it comes to sports cards, you guys, we're going to talk a bit today about 5 buys going into the second half of the season, 5 players, 5 card types, 5 trends that I think would be worth watching. I appreciate what a lot of other podcasts do is they tell you what just happened. They tell you, hey, here's what you could have made on Cam Thomas. Here's the money jump that Mac McClung just had over the weekend. Here's how the LeBron market looked, as he broke that record. A lot of the best tools in basketball cards, and it's good to know these. They'll tell you what just happened or help you track the last 30, 60, 90 days, whatever, and see card values in the rear view mirror. I want to help us think ahead. I would love to be able to get on here and say, hey, we are your one-stop shop for basketball card predictions, takes, trends, strategies, like way to get after it, whether that's as a collector or an investor. And I'll just make a couple of disclaimers here, or there's a part of me that because I enjoy collecting and because I enjoy not losing money, that I'll get on here and say things like, guys, I know there's going to be a lot of wax boxes coming out. There's a lot of new basketball cards finally coming out, like hoops and Prism draft picks. And in a few weeks, you've got Don Russ, all the rookie cards you could possibly want with. Maybe you want Paolo Banchero. I like Jalen Williams too. There's a lot of good young rookies in this class from 2022. But I don't buy, number one, I don't buy cheap products. Number two, a lot of the cheap products come out first because they want to at least make some money, Panini does, on our interest in basketball. And the new class that's coming out. And part 3, I don't buy new product because I'm often waiting for the hype to die down, the prices to die down, and I'll buy individual players. In fact, if you like NBA hoops, am I still recording? If you like NBA hoops, you've got the chance to buy wax boxes of hoops at Walmart, at Target for $25, $30 a box. That's fine. That's great. I was able to, at Father and Son Sports Cards in Powell, so near Columbus, just go through and found about 10 players that I really liked in their box of hoops single cards. And so I got LeBron James. I got Tyrese Maxey, Darius Garland, Desmond Bane, all the regulars you hear me talk about on this show, Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, and paid 10 cents a card for each one of them. They weren't one of those players that it wasn't where I spent $20 or $30 on a box and I thought, wow, hopefully I'll get a card that I want or a player that I like. Very rarely do you make the money back on a box that you open or on a new card pack. It's fun, and I'm sure we've all got stories when you did rip fire, you did pull something out, and you were like, boom, there's a Zion Williamson rookie, there's a Luka Doncic silver, there's a Jason Tatum autograph, whatever it is. But for the most part, so I just want you to know it's okay to not to buy stuff. It's more than okay not to buy unopened boxes of cards. In fact, it's great to listen to podcasts like ours, and there's 5 or 6 others that I think cover the hobby real well. In fact, shout out to my dude Dirk Nashty for bringing the heat with another podcast episode. Love what you guys are doing. Dirk Nashty, Hobby Time with Dirk Nashty. I encourage you to check out his podcast and things. I regularly listen to the Sports Card Investor, the short episodes that they do, where they talk about what's hot, what cards have gone up. And sometimes they'll talk about basketball on a special, another episode. I listen to some of Lucas Tigers and Bronze. I'm really glad that Pack to the Future guys are back, and they cranked out a second episode. Guys, thank you so much. They are a blast to listen to. Their last episode from Salt Lake City, where the NBA All-Star game was. So very, very cool listening to them. I listen to Card Talk. I will listen to Cards to the Moon. I will scroll and try to find podcast titles that have something to do with NBA or basketball cards, because there's a lot of stuff out there for just sports cards. There's Card Talk. There's it's great that you guys are adding so much to the hobby. Thank you. I try to stay informed and in touch with what's going on in the hobby, what's going on in the NBA, and then my own journey. I weave that in here on the podcast, you guys, on buying and selling cards and grading cards and talking with a lot of you. Friends, you can Instagram me at Hoops and Cards on your Instagram, at Hoops and Cards. Love to hear your questions, get your feedback, hear what you're doing, what's worked for you, maybe to hear players that you like, because we are in this part of the season in the NBA where guys are going to get more playing time. Teams are kind of settled in with what their destiny is this season. They're either going for the playoffs or they're not. They either made a trade in the trade deadline to get better, or they made a trade to get more draft capital. They try to get more picks. And so you might see a team like the Utah Jazz playing a lot more young guys. You might see a team like Minnesota, now that they've moved off of D'Angelo Russell's contract and got rid of, some of these other guys that were clogging up their backcourt. Now Anthony Edwards he was already scoring close to 30 a game, but now he's going to get to run in that lane a bit faster. Mike Conley setting him up with the offense, getting the ball moving to Gobert and the rest of them. Yes, I know it's Gobert. Come on, people. Look right behind me. There's this dude is that a Halliburton jersey? It was weird going to the Pacers game. So here's what we did. I have a friend who's got some connections. That's all I'll say. And we got to basically get to sit in sweet seats, eat free food, and watch 2 young teams that have been struggling all season battle it out. The Pacers went down 39-15 in the first quarter. And I'm sitting there, all these guys I wanted to watch, like Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin and Aaron Nesmith and Buddy Hield and what's his cheese. I was hoping to see some Isaiah Jackson, very little I Jackson, very little Jalen Smith, but I did see who's the other guy? Andrew Nemhart. So the Pacers had a lot of young bucks, young Pacers. And then the Bulls, Patrick Williams is still starting. They had Zach LaVine, DeRozan sat out that night. All that to say, Kobe White had one of those massive Kobe White games where he made like 6 threes. The fun part was watching the Pacers come back to win. They haven't done a lot of that lately. And getting to see like how excited everybody was for Halliburton making the All-Star game, and he did great in the 3-point shootout. Thought that was so fun to watch. Tyrese Halliburton and Damian, like everybody in the 3-point shootout. That was fun. But yeah, we got a tour of the inner workings of the Pacers arena and then their workout facility, the locker rooms. I mean, all of that was so cool for me as an NBA geek, NBA junkie. I wanted to take pictures everywhere of this crazy stacks of shoes that I saw in the locker room. I'm like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of incredible shoes. And to just hear some of the stories about the players. This was the last game for the Pacers before some of them flew to Utah. Yeah, the Utah snow. They tried to dress this up, Post Malone rapping about Utah. And I don't know that anybody in the NBA world was really excited about going to Salt Lake City, but they did it. Looks like they had fun. But half of the Pacers team and coaches and everybody else, half of them were going on vacation, get someplace warm, get out of Indianapolis, go south. And then some of them were going to, join Tyrese and Benedict and Buddy. And I think they had other people. They probably had Chris Duarte out there. Duarte going to Salt Lake City for all those rising stars, 3-point shootout, all of that. You might wonder, did that affect the card market? I mean, Mac McClung cards soared and sold at high prices. I hope he makes the NBA and gets to show off what he does even more. I think that was great. I don't think he saved the dunk contest, but I do think he added a lot to it and made it must-see television if you haven't seen it yet. So must go see it, the dunk contest. Jason Tatum winning MVP, very cool. Other players like LeBron only played a half. Giannis only played like 2 plays. Steph Curry not there. Zion Williamson not there. Kevin Durant not there. So there's something missing. There's something missing this weekend. I don't know. I don't really know what it was, but Donovan Mitchell did great. Excuse me. Did great. Donnie Mitchell. He did great. A lot of guys stepped up. Lauri Markkanen, but you could tell some guys are made for all-star games, and some guys like the Joker and Luka Doncic, they just flat out told you they didn't care. Like, they're honored by it, but they just don't care. So what really happened on All-Star Weekend that could influence the card market? And my answer right now is, unless your name is Mac McClung or Jason Tatum, maybe. The fact that Utah got to be showcased and Lauri Markkanen got to start and Donovan Mitchell had a great game. And Lillard won the 3-point shootout. I think all those guys I just mentioned, like, they added something to their worlds. And I think being able to say, hey, look, Anthony Edwards was the first All-Star reserve pick, or yeah, I think for people that were watching the game and watching some of these events, there were some impulse buys happening. There was some interest and some taking notice of great young players or next steps, next levels for superstars. But, and other than that, one of the things about All-Star just festivities is that it's a recognition of players, some that have arrived, and this adds to their resume, which will help their card market soon. But it's also the dividing point in the NBA season. And so after this break, we're going to get to the second half. For you YouTube watchers, that means the next video. It's going to be the second half, 5 buys. Players to watch, consider buying, maybe how to go about that with a specific card idea for you. And that would be for the second half of the season. The All-Star, it's sort of like that halftime, that weekend. And like I said, some guys went away on vacation. Some guys went to Salt Lake City on vacation. That's just how it happened. So it's great to be with you, and more on 5 buys after this break.